Hi Dreadlands, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is V, and today I am doing kind of a haul video. I ordered some makeup off of TikTok shop from Kaleidos and Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and what you see on my face mostly is a lot of what I bought and some extra things. As far as the look itself, I didn't record it, but I will tell you that it was very heavily inspired by Grace Jones as far like the blush placement and things like that. And I thought it was really fun. I'm trying to get back into doing makeup kind of more frequently than I have been. But that's enough yapping out of me. You guys are here for the haul. So I will go ahead and start pulling those things out. So I kept everything in the little Kaleidos box. It didn't all come in the Kaleidos box, but it was just easier to keep it all in here. And so we're gonna get started with kind of like the free gift that I got for buying like $79 more lip products. And it's one of the collector's tins for their lip clays. It didn't come with any lipsticks in it, but you can fill it with some. And I already have one, and there's three that I'm looking at that I think will be perfect. And they're all gonna go in this little tin once I eventually get around to buying that. But just showing off the packaging. I think this is like, this is like really beautiful packaging, and I'm kind of glad it's this one because it's the one I'm most attracted to, because there's like 3 other tins, but this is just like a really beautiful tin. And the next, I'm pulling out the 2 Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes that I got, and the first one is their collaboration with the Rotten palette. And I don't know if you can tell, but like this is textured and it's fuzzy, so it's like you're touching the mold. And I also just think this is really beautiful. This is an all matte palette, and this is what the inside of that looks like. I really only ended up using black in this palette for this look, but it's a really good black. And I just like the selection of colors that they have. I'm not going to do any swatches in this video. I do plan on doing kind of brand specific videos, but this will be my 3rd Blend Bunny Cosmetics palette, because I bought 2 new ones and I already have one. But I'm really excited to use this one because this kind of pads out my collection as far as like colors go, and I don't really feel the need to buy like any other eyeshadow palettes, even though at the end of the day you're kind of gonna do what you're gonna do. But yeah. Then I also have the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Longing palette, which is more of a traditional palette in the sense that it has metallics in it as well. And this is what the inside of this one looks like. And I have this shade down here all over the lid. And it's like a greeny bronze color, and it's really beautiful. And you can see it's really rare to find like cool tone palettes that are also kind of desaturated, because desaturated colors actually look really good on me, as I've come to learn because of my neutral olive kind of skin tone. But like, these desaturated tones look really beautiful on me. And again, this would be my 3rd Blend Bunny Cosmetics palette, they have a really beautiful formula, and they have pretty, like, they have really good color stories. So if I were to ever recommend a brand that's kind of, I'd say kind of more in the affordable range, it's still it's still rather expensive. I think this was like $44. I think the other one was also $44. But the formula is like really great. It's easy to work with, and there's probably a palette for you if you're going to go look. And so it's like, if I was recommending like more of like smaller independent brands, Blend Bunny is very much highly recommended. Woo! Sorry, I accidentally launched that. My bad. So that was all the Blend Bunny stuff, and now we're jumping into all the Kaleidos stuff. And then, so I've become a very, very big fan of Kaleidos because they are just releasing stuff that I want, which is very rare for me to like really like, oh, I want that. Like, no, they're releasing stuff that I want. And I have some other things that, there's some things that I need to get in order to kind of do a full face of Kaleidos, mainly a blush, because that's like the one thing I don't have. But I plan on patting that out, and then I could do like a full face of Kaleidos, which is going to be really exciting. So first thing I got here is their Symphony Contour Trio palette. This thing is heavy. Like, I don't know if you can hear. This is heavy. It's got some weight to it. You could throw this at somebody. I don't recommend it though. But I have the colorway Tan, and it's actually, I use that to do some of the contouring and highlighting around the face, and I think these are incredibly smooth powders. And the thing about them is that they're actually kind of truly, like, the contour is truly like a cool tone, so it does like more like the shadow work than just kind of like how some contours tend to blend out really brown, like orange on me. A lot of things turn orange on me. And then this was like the highlighting powder, so I have that like center of the nose here, right through there. This is actually a really beautiful powder. And they have, I think there's 4 or 5 colorways in this. And then also they sell these kind of like in individual pans if you don't want the full like trio. But this is obviously, this is something that's going to be in heavy rotation for me because it's all right here, and I don't have to dig into like my big contour palette, which is kind of unwieldy to deal with. Next, I have 2 of their multi-chrome liners. I have this one in my eye today. I forgot the name of it though. I think it's Scarlet Striker. And this isn't the multi-chrome. These are just like their metallic liners. And I just have like the straight metallic red, which is really beautiful. I said I wasn't gonna swatch, but I might as well. It's not gonna hurt me. But like, that's just beautiful. I'm gonna try and keep this on to see like if it like wears out my waterline. It only looks a little dull because I did kind of go over with like mascara and like more black shadow just to kind of clean everything up. And then the other one I have is called Moon Mechanic, which is just their silver. And that is just silver. These are like truly metallic, and I love them. Oh, I guess they're on this really tiny sticker on the bottom that I can't read. Yeah, there's the names on the very tiny sticker. Probably need my glasses for this, but I'm really excited to use these to kind of just toss my waterline because most liners don't stay because my eyes can get really watery, and so I end up kind of just like crying them off essentially. It makes me kind of sad, but I have hopes for this. Next is I bought a sculpting lip pencil. And I have that around the lips. It's not the only thing that's giving this effect, but it is the main one. And it is in the shade Dark Matter, which is like the dark, it's the black liner, but it's a brown black. I'll just swatch it right there. It went on really nice, and I did like the effect that it gave. It's more apparent here. You can see where where that brown came in, and it's also mixing with the other things I have on my lips, which is one of the Kaleidos lip melts, and then the NYX Butter Gloss and Licorice. But it just did this really beautiful lip combo. And then speaking of, I bought 3 of the Kaleidos lip melts. And the name obviously doesn't come with that because these are refillable. So you can buy like a case, and then you can buy like the lip melt, and then you can insert it in the case. So it's like you can just buy the one and then like buy the refill once you run out. And this is a wear test for it, obviously. But the one that I have on today is, I believe, Dungeon? Or is it In-Game? No, it's In-Game. Dungeon's the brown. I don't have the brown. I have In-Game, which is like that red color. Which, it doesn't look distinctly red because it mixed in with so much. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys like a swatch on the back of my hand. So that's what it's supposed to look like, but it's kind of mixed in with everything else on my lips. I could try to put on a little more. Yeah. So with like my lip liner and stuff, it kind of muddies out, but it's still pretty. And when it goes on, it kind of has like a minty feeling. And despite it being kind of like a really glossy lip, it feels nice. It doesn't feel like it's really, like I don't feel like it's just gonna get all over the place, but then again, I don't know. I just like the way that it feels, and obviously it's a really pretty color. So In-Game, I believe in here is Cypher, which is just more of like that glitter suspension, and I obviously got like the green colorway. That's gonna be really pretty on its own. Just besides red, I really like green. And then the one that I was kind of really excited for was Stranger. And it's just like this gray color. And I can't wait to actually put that in a look. That's going to be really fun. But that was the haul. And obviously I had a lot of fun playing with a lot of those products today. And I'll probably do like a check-in somewhere down the line to kind of update you on how I feel about those things. And I guess just to talk about what else I have on my face. since the haul's done. So for the blush, I put down a base of the Ritual Defeat and a Gold King Pigment and Eclipse, which is like that black shade that's just like a blackened purple. I put that down as a base and kind of a light contour. And then I went into my NARS Ultimate Blush palette and I went in with all three of these. I started with Teased. Yes. Started with Teased mostly, and then I blended like around the edges and stuff with Dominant, and then really focusing on the cheeks and went in with Exhibit A. This is a really beautiful formula. I'm a bit miffed by some of the reviews that I saw on Ulta for like this palette, and granted I know everyone has a different user experience, but I'm not quite understanding how people are like, oh, it's chalky and stuff like that, when I'm not getting that. Granted, everyone has a different experience, and it could just be maybe for the first colorway of this, which was for like the fair, it's like the fair light to medium palette for those skin tones. It could just be that, but like these are actually, like, these have been fantastic. I've been using this off and on for a while now. If I'm not using my cream blushes, I'm using this because this is just a really beautiful formula. And then highlighter wise, I'm not actually really using a highlighter. I'm using the Denise & Meyer's Dew Wet Balm, and it's just the clear one. And I love the effect that it gives. I wouldn't have really thought to use this, but because there's so much going on the rest of the face, I didn't feel like using the Fenty Diamond Balm would make much sense, or the other Kaleidos highlighters. But like, this was a really good option, and I'm glad that I picked it because it's an unusual pick. I'm glad I picked it nonetheless. And then as far as like foundation goes, I'm still testing some other foundations, but if I'm going based off just of perfect shade match and like performance, it's got to be the Tier Mask Fit Red Cushion, and my shade is 33 in Macchiato. It's a perfect shade match, and I feel like the issues that I'm having with the other foundations that I'm testing out is that they are too golden yellow and or orange on me. And so I don't feel very comfortable with wearing them without having to then go in with like my Tier concealer to try and lighten it up. So I'm still testing some other foundations, and it's not looking very good for the other foundations, but I'm not one to like waste things, so I'll find a way to use them, even if it means like I just have to lighten it up with the Tier. I don't mind it. But I'm just really overall impressed with this. It's really beautiful. But that is it. I want to thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next one.